If it's not, let me know. We'll have to schedule it for another night.
You're live. Wow.
All right, are we back?
I'm back up. So put your camera back up.
All right, Kenna, go to town.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what's wrong with this. You can't use Restream like that. Oh, sexy boy. There we go. 2 views. Here we go. All right. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. I'm so sorry. Top chat. Live messages. Here we go. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. Man, every time I try and use Restream, something goes wrong. So I think we might just strictly stream to YouTube starting from this point on, because obviously it's a pain in the butt. I just sent you a DM to where?
Hey, Sam, you're going to have to buy me a ring light because my lighting in here sucks.
He sent me a DM to... Oh, on Instagram? Dill says, what's up? How is everybody tonight? Haha. Let's see. Did you send me a DM on Instagram?
Hey, Kenna, come on.
No. DM's not specifically Instagram, Nikki. Anyways. Okay, so what's going on tonight is Matt is... Oh, Twitter.
Apparently, she's done with my makeup already.
She is. She got bored. Just like I did when I got my makeup put on me. It was a good idea at first, and then all of a sudden...
So here we go. Finished product. I got slightly rosier lips.
Oh, you look sexy.
You can't even tell.
Let's see. I gotta check this DM real quick.
The hell you pouting over there for, bro?
Pouting.
Pouting.
I swear to God.
I'll pout your forehead with my fist.
No.
Sucker.
Stupid.
Your mama.
I don't see where you sent it, bud.
White.
Another makeup
You
stream.
got
Yeah. That's this guy, dude. He wanted to have his daughter paint his makeup.
Did you hear what me and him just got into a roast battle? He called me stupid. I go, your mama. He goes, your wife.
Oh.
We just roasted the same person.
Oh, he doesn't hold no bars, bro. He don't hold no bars.
What?
And Dylan felt bad for the other day.
Yeah, I did. What I don't even remember what I said, and I'm gonna choose to not remember. I'm gonna continue
What
to
did he
not
say?
remember. What did I say? I don't even want to know.
Say it out loud.
No, because that means she remembers and she took it. Oh no, man, I'm so sorry. Oh man, that was probably one of the dumbest things I said. Because the second I said it, I was like, oh fuck.
Stinky pussy.
Oh yeah. Oh
Seriously,
fuck.
say that in front of our kids.
Anyways, all right, guys, welcome back. How's everybody's night going?
Yeah, I think Kenna, are you done? Okay.
Yo,
So I'm gonna set myself back up to a normal cam.
sounds good. Yo, Josh, I don't see where you sent anything on Twitter. You DM me? I'm not seeing it. But again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We're just kind of gonna mess around with shenanigans tonight, you know? Gonna do whatever we want, whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever you guys want to do. I don't have anything planned for tonight just because it's kind of a free ball. So it's a Friday night. Let's just have some fun with it. What do you guys want to see? Oh, Strickland, by the way, you know, since I got on your chat and gave you some philosophical conversations, now how about it's your turn? It's a picture of YouTube saying that the stream was removed because it was against TOS. I was trying to make sure you knew that. Yeah, so okay. So I get a video and it's music playing, right? So I use music to start the stream because it's a nice way to, like, you know, introduce. So at this point, I make sure the video has no copyrights on it, and I type in no copyright sounds, and Yeah, this one apparently, even though it said no copyright, YouTube thinks it's copyrighted. So got that taken down to the Daydreams account. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have the Daydreams account accessed on my phone. Dell, glad to see your computer fixed. Yeah, dude, it took me probably 5 or 6 hours to get it fixed. That was frustrating. 5 to 6 hours, because at first, when I had to swap out the power supply itself, and I hooked it back up to the normal solid state drive that I had to switch out anyways, and my screen wouldn't turn on, and when it would turn on, it would flicker, so I couldn't do anything with it. So I had to call my friend Drew and Kaylor, and man, I was frustrated. I was wasn't doing it. So finally, after everything, they finally came over and helped me out.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome back.
My kid's plugging his ears so I can say this. You talking about computer parts turns me on.
You're welcome.
Also, my 7-year-old's about to fuck my face up with some makeup.
Okay, so it's his turn now.
Plans back on, because let's face it, you can't even tell I got makeup on.
What is the preferred way to contact you? Honestly, contact me anyway.
Premium Snapchat. That's his best way to get hold of
$5. $5 a month, guys. Later I can just give you my number and you can just text me if you want.
Oh, you can unplug your ears now, bud. What is this?
Or you can just, if you don't want that, if I'm too weird for you, you can probably just DM me on Instagram or Twitter. Yeah, I use Instagram more than Twitter.
Carson, you're dipping out right now when my 7-year-old's about to jack my face up with some makeup.
All right, Carson, enjoy, dude.
Only if I could do it wrong, because I would just draw a mustache.
Well, this is exactly why I'm okay.
So mom is facilitating, right?
Eyebrow things. So you can make him any kind of eyebrows you want.
Yes.
You got some.
Yeah, it's $5 to enter, and then it's $1 a pick. $2.50 for a video.
That's a little expensive, right?
He specializes in beehole.
Yes. Oh yes.
All right, so y'all fuckers ready to see me get my face jacked with some makeup?
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Carson. Give us that view.
Hey, Carson, don't mute it. Put it on as low a volume as possible.
No, I don't think YouTube cares.
Oh, okay.
It might, because it just went to 6 views, so we're not sure.
Like right here, Mom.
Let's find out. I have you muted. Let's unmute you real quick.
All right, everybody mute me for like 30 seconds. We're going to figure this out, but keep on the stream. Text in the chat that you're still here, but mute the stream. We're going to try this. We're going to see if this works.
$10, Dale, you get that special, baby.
I'm gonna make you know how people have eyes.
We'll shave beehole on stream for $10.
On your own stream.
I would have fun.
All right, my face is finna get jacked.
All right, we're testing this, guys.
I have something
Yeah, your
special on
viewer
forehead
your
that's
viewer
gonna be started with.
your viewer count hasn't moved any.
All right, give it a second, though. Because it has to update.
Oh yes.
All right, I muted
I
it.
have a special thing on the top, Dad.
I muted the stream, but I don't know why. I just do what I'm told. I just do what I'm told. All right, so it's down to 5.
Wait, is this Ernie or Fat Rob?
That's
So
Ernie.
maybe there are some people that are already
Yeah, that's
viewing and
Ernie.
muting. I don't know.
Goodbye, Ernie.
Ernie
Oh,
Ball.
you stuck? Bro, are you stuck? I got you, fam. There you go. You're good. You can go. All right, are you guys ready to see me get my face wrecked? YOLO, start.
Sorry. Getting out of this stupid thing. Let's start with something on your forehead.
Oh my god, I already know what you're putting on my forehead.
Stupid.
What does that say?
Stupid.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna put oof on my forehead. Bro, if you're gonna go near my eyes, let me know.
Well, warning.
Okay, message in the chat when you've unmuted. Message in the chat when you've unmuted.
You're getting very close to my eye socket.
He has legitimately become Simba now. The plebs are free.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
You look good.
Thanks.
Let's change your eyebrows.
I think you look better with the stupid.
You better not. Is whatever he's putting on my eyebrows gonna make my eyebrows not be on my face anymore?
No.
Okay.
No, women have to use this.
Bro, I'm not a woman. I got a long nose.
Oh,
A big fat honking nose, if you know what I mean.
a big fat honky donkey.
Trying to look for.
All right, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play around with some philosophical questions here.
I wanna see if they have.
How can we be philosophical with this on my face?
Because this is what makes it better. Okay.
Okay.
You can't get away, Dad.
More details on that premium Snapchat here in a little while when my kids go to bed.
Oh, baby. All right, 200 philosophical questions.
Can I participate?
Yeah, dude.
What is this that he's putting on my face?
What?
This crap.
Lipstick?
No, this eyebrow shit. Oh, it's an eyebrow tracer?
All right, we're gonna start
Oh,
with. Do people have
fuck.
free will?
Glittery gold.
Do people have free will?
Yeah, let's go with it. Matt looks like he's been in a prison fight. Matt looks like he'd lose a prison fight, bro.
Do people have free will? To a certain extent, yes.
All right, what do you mean by
as long as your free will does not infringe on, other people's safety and well-being, I believe that people have free will. And for instance, what I mean is, while certain derogatory terms are frowned upon,
Okay.
they are not illegal to say.
What? So you're taking this more
yes.
from a legal standpoint. I'm
For
taking
the
this more
next
from a
one, this is gonna be
philosophical. Do
Kathy.
people have free will? Like,
Ow,
do you
Jesus
just
Christ, bro! Is this what women? Oh my God!
is every action that you make
Let's just make it.
just predetermined by previous actions and stimulus?
Let's see.
So
I can't make
I don't
you
know if
another
I'm
one.
answering this question right, but I believe that everything in your history has led you to make the decisions
Turn
that you
around.
make. So basically, God, I don't know how to explain it without
So
sounding like an idiot.
that would equate to no free
Where are you
will,
going with
right?
that? Are you
It's eyeliner.
Okay, well, I would rather you not be near my eyeball with that.
Be near the eyeball.
So you just do what
Is
you
this
gotta
better?
do.
Is this better?
I like your.
Matt, not Matt, but Josh. What's your question? Let's get to the stream question. It switches my camera for half a second.
That happens with Zoom because he's got it set up to where when I start speaking, my camera pops up and vice versa.
Yeah, but it's saying that mine for half a sec. He's saying that mine for half a second is flopping.
Okay, so I'm gonna test this theory out real quick. I'm just gonna sit here and ramble about anything and everything for a sec. Okay, I see what he's talking about. What the fuck? You're upside down now.
I did that on purpose.
Oh. Oh, what the hell does that say?
we
Big
don't want to mirror
fat.
the view. How about that? There we go. We're gonna turn that off. Enable
Now it's-
HD. Oh, I got that.
The
You guys see that
basics.
high def, baby? There we go. Ooh,
I got this
high def
back
Dylon.
out.
What's up?
All right, let's see. I think most of our life is on autopilot.
Look, I'm just saying, if y'all don't sign up for my premium Snapchat after this, then I'm not getting no business.
You do look good. You look good,
Thanks.
Matt.
You know what? You look good when you choke on that water.
All right, so dude, it's hard to have this like
another
legit
one?
conversation. Where
Oh my God, my lips.
oh my gosh,
I'm just saying.
free will,
make
baby.
some
I
mullet.
choose this mullet.
Your
But why did you
lips are
choose
gonna
the
be
mullet?
a mile wide.
let's get philosophical here. Why did you choose the mullet? Is it because you saw other people and those
Why did you choose the
interests?
mullet? Because America, baby. God, I look like I belong.
Well, right. But that's an example though. Like you live in America, so you're more exposed to mullets. So, I mean, that's a poor example, but I mean, it works.
I look like I belong with somebody who has a mullet. Hey, David, how you want to hit me up after the stream?
I think everybody does right now.
Dang it, I
Even
don't
I
have
do.
enough room. I'm trying to put.
You're telling me with my big ass nose and my big ass forehead, you don't have no room?
Hey, stupid is right there.
Stupid is right here. You're stupid.
You roasted because
Oh, get your ass roasted,
Wow.
boy.
What are you doing to my nose, bro?
you're getting a clown makeover.
Oh, David. So if you're unemployed, I'll give you a 1 month free trial to my premium.
I think the black one would do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also need to every once in a while redo the. This is hot.
All right, so I guess we're on to the next question. Is beauty objective or subjective?
Right now, this beauty is realistic.
I guess that's a good point. Is beauty objective or subjective?
Beauty. Okay, so can you use objective in a sentence? Because I want to. Oh God Almighty! You trying to cut my forehead off?
So
Beauty-
subjective is
It's on his forehead.
subjective is more based off of personal experience and feelings, based off of like how I feel about a certain topic or what I experienced. It's my subjective experience. So I perceive things differently than your perception. So let's take the shade of blue, for example. We both subjectively see our own shade
Yeah, I
of blue,
already did.
but objectively we know that it's blue. Does that make sense?
Hey, then your food is ready.
Kinda.
Okay, so this color green right here, depending on your subjective experience,
Oh,
whether
you
you're
wiping it
viewing
off?
from the camera.
I told him if he runs out of room.
Oh, apparently he's wiping his slate clean so he can go again.
Hell yeah,
It's
you got to.
up here only.
Oh, sexy boy.
How hard is this gonna be to get out of my face?
Super.
Mm.
It's a pain. It is a pain.
So
You want a real answer?
yes.
You might want to take a shower.
Yeah,
Aw.
you're definitely gonna want to take a shower, dude.
As long as you don't draw a penis on my forehead. I'll be okay.
I think he's right in Big Chungus.
My forearm gonna be swole af.
Huh?
So chat, what do we think? Is
No.
subjective? Is beauty
So-
subjective or objective?
The way you answered that question, and it's really hard to be serious at a time like now, but I guess that's what it means to be as a philosophical question. It's not. There's no right or wrong way to answer it.
Right.
Damn, I'm fine looking.
There you are.
Oh no.
Your
So
boy knows what
This
he's
is going
doing.
to waste again.
okay, so does this answer your question? So something to me that is beautiful, such as
That needs
women
to
with
change.
glasses,
I've
Okay.
been this a long time.
might not be attractive to somebody else as far as the beauty standpoint goes.
Right.
Does that answer the question?
Right. So that's subjective beauty.
So I would say beauty is subjective then, because what's beautiful to me might not be beautiful to somebody else.
All right. So here's my counter argument to that.
I love counter arguments.
Let me read his argument first. Beauty is subjective and objective. Kind of a cop out, I know. But a girl can be objectively pretty to me, but also subjectively because of that y'all have been through.
Okay, I kind of understand what you're saying, David. So basically, a woman can be subjectively beautiful, meaning that she is beautiful, you know, maybe externally, like she's attractive physically, but then objectively beautiful, meaning, you know, she may have done something to you or done something that you didn't necessarily like. Let's say she's a
Okay, I'm
smoker
finished.
or something like that, but somebody else might find her attractive because she smokes.
Dad, so
Does
it
that make
says
sense?
appeal.
I think it
Dads?
does. I think that's a good example of
dads are
subjective
like-
beauty. But so my counter argument to is beauty subjective
All
or
right,
objective?
I think you're done.
Yeah, I am.
Thanks, bud. I love you. Hey, you wanna come say bye to everybody? Hold on.
Oh, is this a picture of your
Whoa,
crotch right
falling
now?
backwards.
Goodbye, buttholes.
Hold on.
Oh.
You gotta speak into this microphone right here.
Dude, oh gosh,
don't
I wish
yell
I had.
because my
I wish
microphone's
we were
very
on Twitch
sensitive.
right now so we
There you
could clip that.
Goodbye, buttholes.
Yeah, that's perfect.
He's probably talking back to you right now. Hold on, Caden. Come here.
Tell Kaden he's awesome.
Mary, hold this. Come here, Caden.
Sorry, I was testing to see if the frames were good on this side.
Oh no.
Matt, say something.
I love how you're doing what you want him to do.
Oh, it looks like the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Mess with the bull, you get the horns, kid.
No, I wanna
Nope,
draw
you're done.
something
You're
on
done.
you.
My face is out of room, bro.
I'm doing something on me.
No. I don't want it to be super hard for you to get
Go
cleaned up.
rinse off your face.
Oh, hold on. Come here, Caden. One more thing.
A mustache.
Nope.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I think you've completed the look. I think my boy Zach's in here now. What's up, Zach?
Zach,
He
as
has
in
never
our boy
joined.
Zach.
Yeah, our boy Zach.
What up, Zach?
Doesn't he look beautiful, Zach?
Leave those.
I gotta switch everything back around to normal.
Okay.
All right.
So back to the
Time
question: subjective beauty versus objective beauty. I agree that subjective beauty, you know, the beauty is dependent upon the subjective eye of the beholder. So I could view someone as beautiful, but you might think otherwise. However, my counter argument for that is the more people that think that a woman or a thing, I don't know why I said specifically a woman, but a thing or an object or a piece of art is beautiful, then the more objectively beautiful it becomes. Because the more objectively it orients itself in reality. Does that make sense?
Oh my god.
Damn it, Matt. I thought you were actually paying attention to this.
Oh, I wasn't. I'm sorry. My boss texted me.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
I heard everything you said just now, but just in case, can you repeat everything? Because I wasn't listening.
No. So, everybody else, tell me what you think. Tell me if that suffice. That makes sense to you. Okay, we're going to move on to the
You
next
going
question.
night-night? Okay. Next question.
All right. Hold on. I'm reading these questions. I don't think. All right. So, are there universal human rights?
No.
Really?
Correct.
Why?
So my first example that I can think of right off the top of my head, you can walk down the street with a shirt off without any legal repercussions anywhere in this United States. However, if a woman were to do that, there's only certain spots in the United States that she can legally do it.
Okay, so we're not talking about laws. We're not talking about objective standards. So there goes that word again. Objective standards of the word universality. We're talking about whether or not are there basic universal human rights that everybody deserves, and if so, what are they?
Yes, everybody has the right to eat, sleep, and drink. That's about it, in my opinion.
Really?
Because not everybody has the right for. That's why my audio sounds weird. My headphones weren't backwards, yours were. God, these are hard ass questions because I can only think of things from a legal standpoint.
We're gonna think about this abstractly. So,
also
like,
have no
does
clue what my
everybody
cheek
deserve
says.
the right to, like, let's take the basic American standards. Does everybody have the right to deserve, like, liberty and the pursuit of happiness or property?
No.
No. Okay. Strickland says right to life.
That's about it. So I can't not think of things from a legal standpoint.
Strickland, you want to hop in on the Zoom meeting? Send me your email, dude. I'll set you up. We're going to talk about this.
And I can meet you face to face. And this is probably not the best time to meet you face to face.
No human rights. What you mean by that, Del? What you mean by that? Well, so I guess the next question is everybody, following up on basic human rights, is everybody
What?
equal then?
Look at me.
Do what to you?
Look at me.
Yeah, yours is off already.
So is everybody created equal?
Mom said you might be a little bit.
Oh my gosh, Matt!
I'm actually paying attention. I'm thinking. These are hard questions, Dylan.
What does chat think? Are all humans guaranteed life? Hell no, Del says. Well, not to the guaranteed life, but humans are created equal. How come?
Wow.
I guess the follow-up question to that is, what is a fair society? Like, what creates a fair society? Is it everybody equal? Is it equal opportunity, equal outcome?
Why are you asking these hard questions and making me feel dumb as fuck?
They're not hard questions. There's no right or wrong answer to them.
They're
It's just
open-ended questions, yeah.
You just have to think about them. Like, what do you think? What do you believe? You know, I'm just asking them because it's a Friday night. We're just chilling out. We have no other plans except to paint your face.
Yeah, I had to bring in my 7-year-old to bring in the content because my 4-year-old sucks.
If you look at it from an American standpoint, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are natural rights for everyone. The only reason your rights can be taken away is if you impede other people's. Natural
That is
right
what
by
I
rape or
said.
murder.
That's what I said earlier, David. But you put it in so much better wording than I did.
Yeah, that was kind of nice.
So, like, what I was saying is, it's you're free to do what you want as long as your actions don't impede or infringe on somebody else's rights or well-being. For instance, I want to say, let's say you're Muslim, and I'm not. And I'm like hate speeching or protesting your mosque or whatever. I actually think that's illegal because it's infringing on your rights.
I don't think hate speech is considered illegal.
I beat your ass because you're Muslim.
That's not a human right though.
I don't know. These are difficult questions.
I think people have to agree.
Are you hopping in with us or nah?
What'd you say, bud?
Seeing if Strickland's hopping in with us.
I don't know. He hasn't said anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of start taking this makeup off my face because I can feel my face.
You're beautiful. That American standpoint is only on paper. That's true because we could say one thing and then kind of review another or do another. Okay, let's keep going down the list then. Why do we create art? That's a weird question. I think one of the purposes for life is to create, though.
Why do we create art?
Well, let's take it, I guess, a little bit more philosophical. Mind expanding on that, Del? That's for you.
This motherfucker got it.
Look at your chat. I did respond. No, I said, did you want to join the Zoom meeting? I don't see where you responded to the Zoom meeting question.
Yeah, like, do you want to hop in with video and be part of this?
Yeah, and I don't see if you respond. You didn't text me or anything.
Because I've been knowing you for like 3 years, and I don't think I've ever held a conversation with you.
I think one of the deeper philosophical questions is why are we here? And I really do believe that we're here to create things, whether it's destruction or beauty. So I think that we can create a lot of trouble for the world, like wars, economic disasters,
children,
hate, or children. Or we could create beauty, which is in the form of the arts, music, dance,
That premium
you can create
Snapchat.
romance. Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I sent an email. Oh, he sent his email in chat. I guess it didn't.
Oh
cover that.
yeah, YouTube's weird about people posting links or anything that's remote. I don't think it's gonna let you send personal information in here.
Okay.
I think it auto blocks it.
RSPAL. Bear with me, guys. All right, I'm pretty sure I just typed that in right.
All right, my face is, I think, back to normal.
All right, let me know when you get that. Art is a visual expression of human creation.
Hey, Stark.
I think humans would create art even without trying to create it. It would be a byproduct of human life. So I think that's one of the foundations of what it means to be human, is to be able to create and be creative. I think that we've kind of lost ourselves in that form of art. And I say that because if you will look at a lot of like religious text, a lot of the deities in there are known for creating. I mean, we're created regardless of what you believe. If you believe in mythology or if you believe in any form of religion, then there is this sort of transference of God to human nature, and by God's nature, he's the one with the power to create. And especially in Christianity, we are depicted as the ones that are created in God's image, and he is the creator. So I think that that's just an interesting idea, and I really do believe that we're here to create rather than just replicate. Ooh, I like that. When we play in Warzone. We can play after this. I got to get a couple things done, though, now that my computer is actually finally up and running.
Yeah, when I get off of the stream tonight, I will more than likely be streaming some Sea of Thieves. If I don't stream Sea of Thieves, I will still be playing Sea of Thieves. I was going to stream last night, but I wasn't feeling well, so I decided not to.
We're having philosophical chat. That's what I'm saying. Strickland, I sent you that email, so let me know when you get it, or just click it and join.
But, my video's fuzzy again. Hold
I like
on.
that. I like that. I wish I could clip that. We're here to create, not replicate. I like that. Quoted. Dylan Cali, 2020. Daydreams with Dylan. You heard it first. Live here.
I'm back.
So what about people who can't replicate? What is their purpose? What do you mean?
So,
well, we could talk about creating experiences, right?
Yeah, so what do you mean by they can't replicate? They can't replicate.
No, what I'm saying is, I think our purpose here is to create, whether it's a new experience, whether you're creating a new path for yourself, or you're creating you're creating a work of art. It doesn't even have to be a work of art. I think our job is to create and, again, not replicate.
Hey, how old are you, Dylan?
26, man.
26. So about 26 years, 9 months ago, his mom and dad got together and they created a work of art.
Oh, well, that's true. So, I mean, obviously, if you look at the whole procreation system. Oh my gosh, my dog.
Yo, I have some really good I have some really good links if you guys want to see some procreation system.
No, I don't. So Strickland just joined in on chat. If you get your audio working, it should be down in the bottom left-hand corner and it should say join with computer audio. If you've been using Zoom before, you should.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can. Oh, sexy
Boom.
boy.
What up, brother?
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much.
How you doing? How you
Hold
been?
on, I'm just Dandy. Hold up. I gotta mute y'all in the background. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. Just mute the chat.
Yeah. Shit, it disappeared. I gotta figure this whole thing out. I don't use Zoom for any of my classes, so it's kind of been a struggle.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Why
All
is the Zoom meeting flashing back and forth between the two of you guys instead of just having his face permanently up?
It depends on who's talking. So usually whoever's talking is the one that the camera goes on.
Yours doesn't have it to where it spotlights your face. If you want it to spotlight you when you speak, you need to go into the video settings and click that option.
I don't know. I don't really care as long as y'all can hear me. It's the
Yeah, I
only
can
thing I'm
hear you.
really worried about.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Matt, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Alrighty. What's up?
All right, we're on the topic of all right. We were on the topic of creating life and being creative. Were you listening during that whole speech?
Yeah, I got that. I was kind of a little all over the place.
Yeah, I
and
figured.
trying to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
But I'm in here.
That's my brain. I'm all over the place. I can't focus to save my life.
I feel that.
Okay. All right. Here's a real question. Does time have a beginning or an end?
No.
No. So this is where I come to with my understanding of time is if you think about light, the opposite of light is darkness. And in the absence of light itself, you get darkness. So the same is true with heat. If in the absence of heat, you get cold. Cold is not actually something that we experience. It's the absence of heat itself. Time, we don't have any reference for time. So in the absence of time, we have eternity. But eternity itself is endless time. So it's
not.
it's
I think it's not comprehensible.
Yeah. So
honestly, I think the whole thought of time and eternity, it's a word, but it's not comprehensible to the average human.
Yeah. So that's where I come to my that's where I find my limits of my understanding of time. And
I would say it's not comprehensible, not just to the average human, but I think any human for that matter. Because I mean, you can try to think of the largest number that you can possibly think of, and there's numbers that are exponentially bigger than whatever you can come up with in your brain.
Right.
I gotta get a drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're fine, bud. But yeah, so even if you think about before time, was there a before time? And if there was a before time, what is the comprehension? What is the absence of time?
It was life.
There always has been life. There always will be life.
I say the only way to really describe it is life. You're not worried about anything else but the things you're doing in that moment. You don't have a end date or beginning date.
David, what I have to hit on what David said real quick. I'm gonna kind of tweak what you said. He said that time is I can't talk. Human perception of time is wrong. In my opinion, time doesn't exist. If that makes any sense.
No, I get what you're saying.
You can't create something out of nothing. Time isn't tangible. Time has no matter. Time has no.
I think that's a common fallacy that a lot of people believe, though, and a lot of major scientists seem to think that time itself doesn't exist. It's just an illusion, but it doesn't defeat the fact that we all experience time. My main question is, do we all experience the same era of time? Right now, we're talking back and forth through Zoom, right? But are we experiencing this same moment in time? I'm not talking about the lag between the computer time. I'm not talking about.
I was gonna say.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, are we all at the same moment in time consciously arriving at the same point? Or am I speaking with a past version of Strickland? Or speaking of a past version or a future version of Matt?
I don't know if it's that in depth. I think it's more of just it's here. We're at different stages in life, obviously, all of us. It's not a matter of different time lapsing. It's just I don't really know how to word it. We're here.
David, what I'm trying to say is time is something that is completely man-made. At some point in time before, back in the caveman days, they didn't have a clock to tell you, oh, it is
I wouldn't agree with
They
that.
use the sun.
I wouldn't agree with that because the world and the universe has natural rotations where it cycles, where it follows the same pattern. So we have the same seasons. We have natural plants know time. Plants know when it warms up, that's when I'm going to start blooming. Or around this time of year, they start spreading pollen. Actually, some plants spread pollen too early and bloomed too early and died because they were on a time cyclic cycle.
That's just one of those questions that's really hard to accurately answer.
So I
because-
wouldn't. I don't agree with that time is an illusion. I think that time itself is experienced differently, but I want to know: are we all experiencing the same moment in time? I think
the perception, like David said, the perception of human time is a lot different from everyone else's time, but it's not changing time itself.
right. And so, but the point I'm trying to make is we are all on the same era of time, right? So we're all moving forward. We're all in the present right now. If we hypothetically think that. If we stop for a minute and just take the example of the era of time moving forward from going from 8:56 to 8:57 in the next minute, we're all experiencing that moment in time. So I think the illusion that people kind of commit to is that people seem to think that without the absence of this momentary time lapse, then there is no past, present, and future, which you could kind of say is true since time is relative, depending on where you go, especially in space, and depending on where you go with time and matter. So,
Can I say something that might sound stupid, but it just entered my brain? So
Sure.
there's a good chance
Shoot for it.
it's gonna sound stupid. So, you know how there's three. There's like you said earlier. There's the present tense, the past tense, and there's future. Does the future actually exist? I know the past exists because it's already happened, and the present exists because it's already happening. But does the future exist?
Not yet.
So that's the thing. So some would say yes. Some would say that the future is already existing, and that's where you get into the argument of free will. Does free will exist if the future?
Ooh, you want to have
exists?
that? We can have that debate.
Yeah, we can. So some people, especially if you are a proponent of time as an illusionary force, a lot of people seem to gravitate towards the future tense is already predetermined because of the fact that time is an illusion. So everything that has been, is been, and will be all exists at the same moment in time, but we're all experiencing the era of time at a certain moment. Does that make sense? It's kind of like a picture frame. It's kind of like a movie, like a stop motion movie. I already have all the pictures laid out. And now I'm just playing each frame one by one by one by one by one. And each moment you're seeing one frame, but you've already have an experience of the past frames. So you know what's happening, but you don't know what's going to happen in the next frame.
So I'm not
Even though the
religious.
frame's already played out.
I'm not religious, but I'm gonna speak from a religious point of view for a second, because I liked your movie analogy. So I have to find a way to word it where it doesn't sound stupid. The future. So let's say, and don't smite me for saying this, there is a God, and this God has a plan for each individual person on this earth. I would say the only way that the future can, in my opinion, quote unquote, be, already in existence is if there is a God. He has your whole entire life cycle planned out, and it's currently playing out like a movie.
So that's where I have my biggest argument against. That's where I have my biggest issue against deterministic atheists. And so I'm not calling anybody out, but it's what I question a lot, because I'm constantly thinking, okay, you're an atheist, okay, but you're telling me that the world has been determined, okay, but by what factors? What presets have you
Who-
determined that world from?
Yeah, who has determined the
And
world?
another one of my biggest issues is when a lot of atheists, and again, I'm not calling out atheists here, but
No,
it's a logical thought process that I don't understand, especially when atheists tend to agree with more of the simulation theory or the infinite parallel universe theory, because the simulation theory to me is literally just God with extra steps, because you have an intelligent being that has pre-planned and predetermined the existence of your life, and now has set that in motion using a simulation. Okay, that is literally the same thing, just reskinned for atheists. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
The
and
next-
no, David. Deja vu moments are not actual moments that we've experienced. It's God. He forgot that he cleaned the DVD wrong, and the DVD's skipping now.
There was a scratch.
Yeah.
That the other thing is, for at least for the parallel universe theories or the infinite worlds theories, I don't understand how we can agree to an infinite world theory where everything and anything is possible, meaning a being that can transcend time and everything and matter in one of those possible universes, but we still deny the existence of a higher being. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I think it's also a matter of something that's, again, way too complex for us to understand. Like one thing that we need something to lean towards, and I'm not saying like that's a argue against religion, but we need something for the good times, the bad times, and everything in between. It's something that we don't have control over, that we can give reason to.
Right.
That's more of what I think about the whole, I guess, what y'all are talking about.
Like deterministic factors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the entire. See, I've had a lot of thought process about this whole free will debate, and the matter of free will is really just faded on me, because there's way too many factors that influence your daily life that you can't control, and things that have influenced you far before, or when you were conceived, when you were born, everything you grew up in, your livelihood. There's so many things you can't control, that the act of, or the matter of free will is it really is just an illusion. Because Dylan, we've had these conversations before. Like the chemical function in your head makes you think certain ways. It's not. It's pulling you, whether you choose right or wrong, or one thing or another. You still have that drive to go to that certain thing, or that, like, one or another.
Right. Yeah, I've thought about the free will debate a lot, and I really do want to believe that we do have free will, but
It's a great thought. It's something that you want to think, like, yeah, I have control over my entire life, like anything I do.
yeah, but it's kind of peaceful if you think about it.
No, it is
A little
for
bit.
sure.
When you think about, maybe I don't have full control, and all the stupid stuff I did in the past, maybe all wasn't my fault. I mean, it's still your fault.
It's a great balance. I think it's a great balance between what you can and can't control, but at the same time, it's more of a, you can pick and choose, and that's the where it comes into
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
You're very indecisive on what you can and can't control.
My brain hurts now.
Sounds like the nature versus nurture argument. Yeah, so there have been studies where teenagers, or not teenagers, but twins, identical twins, have been separated, and to test the whole nature versus nurture aspect. I mean, surely they had fewer qualities, being separated and growing up in different families, but it turned out to be the opposite. I mean, they tended to have the same IQ, they tended to have the same hobbies and interests, so it was really
So,
interesting.
Your genetics.
Yeah, let me speak on that. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to go into super details, but Mary has an older sister who, before Mary was even a twinkle in her father's eye, was adopted, like they had the baby, and a different family raised this woman whose name I'm not going to say for privacy reasons. So Mary always grew up knowing she had an older sister out there, but never could find her. We ended up finding her, and she's not part of the family again. She's over 30 years old, but she's in the last like 5 years became part of the family again. And over the years, we've gotten to know her. This woman is my wife on every, like almost every, you know, playing field. Same music taste, same mentality, same sense of humor. They look the same, obviously. They have the same love for the same Disney movies, like everything, food, just like everything that you can possibly think of. It's the same, but they grew up not knowing each other. So that I want to say has to do with the whole genetics, because this woman was raised in like a goody two shoes, like church going family, and this woman is like polar opposite. Like she's got the gothy mentality and the full sleeve tattoos and listens to heavy metal, and it's just weird.
So I guess that brings up a deeper philosophical question: is are you responsible for your actions if your actions are already determined? And is there even a point to do anything if it's already determined?
That's where the problem comes in hand, honestly, because if that's the thought process that you have no free will whatsoever, then you, there's nothing to really live for, because like everything's already planned out. But the aspect of, oh, I can do this at this time, and in all reality, there's certain things that like, yeah, obviously it's going to give you reason to believe you have free will, and there's a lot of things in your daily life that you have complete control over. But it's more of just the little things, or even the big little things. I don't really know how to word that, but
Right.
those are the things that you can't control. But like the thought process that if everything is determined, that in that case there's nothing really worth living for if you have no choice, if you're just living day by day in a routine of like, this is everything that I have planned for the day.
But some people find satisfaction in like living in routines, you know?
Well, but in that case, it wouldn't necessarily be a routine. It would just, I kind of worded that wrong, but it wouldn't be a routine. It would just be a step by step process
Yeah,
of your.
yeah, I got you. I got you. So,
That's the dangerous part.
yeah. So, I mean, I guess like a serial killer or a serial rapist, and this is going to get controversial here, but it's a real reality that a lot of people have to face if we're talking about determinism or deterministic actions. Like, are they really held responsible for their actions if they had predisposed chemical reactions in their brain? I mean, I think so. I think still, yeah, you should be held responsible, but do we deserve to give them a little more credit, or do we need to
So
consider those options a little bit?
speaking from a legal standpoint, I have known, not in recent history, but in, the last 20, 30 years, people have gotten away with murder because of a chemical imbalance in their brain. And I don't like
Schizophrenia.
like you were saying, like if you have no choice, you have a chemical imbalance in your brain and it causes you to view people as objects, and you take that object and you kill it, and it can be determined scientifically that you have a chemical imbalance in your brain. I don't know why you're sneaking by, dude. I can see you clear as day. Like, should you be held accountable for it? That's kind of one of those questions where it's hard to answer, because you have the imbalance, you kind of don't understand what's going on. Okay, I'm going to bring Michael Jackson into the equation. Michael Jackson had a big ass chemical imbalance, but in his brain, he was 6 years old.
Did he?
He was a grown man. Yeah, he did. He had a bad his chemical imbalance stemmed from him having his childhood ripped away from him. So he never got to experience things as a child that most kids would, going to amusement parks, doing this, having sleepovers, having little boyfriends. If you're 7, you can have 7-year-old boys as friends, and it's not weird. But he never got to experience that. So I guess over time, where he was robbed of that, his brain never caught up. So that's why he did the things that he did. Now, granted, should he have been held accountable for him? That is kind of a question that's hard to answer, because he didn't, in his mind, know that he was being wrong, but in reality, he was being wrong.
Yeah,
So
but
if
there
you-
are certain objective standards that we set, and we know that we have to abide by as laws. So, like, as a 26-year-old adult, for me, I could have that same chemical imbalance, but know that hanging out with a 12-year-old butt naked is wrong. Right?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, I understand
you're
what you're
right,
saying.
Dylan.
I'm not trying to like make an excuse for him or anything.
all right.
I'm
So
not saying what he did.
here's where I counter argument that.
I love counter arguments again.
It's not really a counter argument, but has anybody heard of the learned helplessness theory?
No.
Okay, so this is basically where I give you a test, and so let's say I have a control group, and then I have group A. Okay, I give the control group just a normal test with easy answers. Okay, they go through the test, they answer each question, and they get 100. Okay, I give the second group, group A, a hard test, like almost nearly impossible questions. They go through, and it's hard for them to answer. They basically fail the first test. So now, I give each group both a new test, both identical. There's identical in skill level. The first group will do just as good as they did, but the second group will learn to be helpless on that.
No, mommy is.
Yeah.
So the second group, at this point in time, has learned to be helpless. Okay, so they've learned that the skill, that trying means that it's effortless. Like, you know what, I'm not going to exert the effort, I'm not going to do it. It's pointless at this point in time. So their brain has adjusted in that way.
Are you saying the first group or the second?
The
The
second
easy
group.
test,
The
easy
second
test or
group.
the hard test?
No, the hard test, the second
Okay,
group.
all
Group
right,
A.
all right. Then I got it right. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So their brain has adjusted, whatever you want to say, chemically or however, neuropathical. I don't even know if I said that. But neuropathical in a way that they have learned to be, that they have learned to be helpless. So that experience itself has adjusted their brain. Now, I think, and I would be willing to bet, that if you put effort towards something or experience something, that whatever that effort is or that experience is could be just as powerful as an experience as that learned helplessness. So say you wanted to counter learned helplessness. Oh, tell her I said hey.
Hold on.
So
Say goodnight, Kenna.
good night, Kenna.
Hey.
Say goodnight, bitches.
No!
Say it.
No!
Say it.
No!
Say night night, everybody.
Night,
Good night.
everybody!
I love you.
I can feel him.
Good night.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, Dylan.
So
yeah.
say you wanted to counter that. Say you wanted to adjust for that. This is where I think determinism and free will kind of meet. Because I believe that through your experiences, you can create deterministic results. So through the experience of developing or taking a hard test, you can create the deterministic result of learned helplessness. But through other experiences and putting forth effort and willpower, this is where free will comes in. I believe that you can equally combat that deterministic value. Now, to the extent to which, it was determined that you were going to put forth that effort to adjust those actions, that's up for question. But going back to the whole, Michael Jackson thing, you can understand that you might have a chemical imbalance, but work towards making sure that the law, or you're abiding by the law. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think the problem with the whole, like, it's not one or the other. It's a whole matter of both of them at the same time, because the whole argument can't be done without each of them. That's the perfect thing about it, is there can be both, and that's okay for them to be both.
Right.
It doesn't have to be just one or the other.
Yeah, and I think that's where, again, I think the meeting ground for determinism and free will kind of meets right at that center, where you have deterministic behavior due to experiences or genetics or past events, but if you work hard at something and put forth energy, I mean, the universe itself is entropy and entropy. So if you use energy to your advantage by putting forth into effort, I think you can adjust deterministic standards. Do the people in learned helplessness group ever get to know what happened to them? I'd have to go back and relearn the study, but yeah, I think they do. I think they do. Because that would suck.
I feel like it's a I feel like
That
it would be
suck.
it's a great teaching point, and be like, yeah, quit being helpless.
Yeah, I mean,
Fix it.
I mean, for real though. I mean,
Just because things are
Think of-
hard doesn't mean they're impossible. Like, doesn't mean the next task is going to be impossible.
I can kind of see where you're coming from with that part, because like my daughter, or just any kid rather, doesn't just hop on a bike and ride. They feel helpless because they can't ride the bike, but over time they, I guess, learn how to ride said bike, and now they don't feel helpless anymore. So I don't know if that answers your question, Dale, but
is knowing a determining factor in their ability to overcome it? Yeah, I think that would be, because so that's what cognitive behavioral therapy is. So cognitive behavioral therapy helps you to identify, it takes individuals and identifies what the issues are, and then identifies where they came from, and then tries to have you express yourself in different routes of behavior to change those.
yo, and that shit
Actions.
works too. I'm telling you right now. I had a little time in my life where I had to go to a therapist, and she taught me, well, I guess the word I'm looking for is cognitive thinking.
Yeah.
And she taught me how to, get those thoughts, compartmentalize them, and then how to deal with them. And ever since she taught me those coping mechanisms, man, I'm like,
Yeah. So I think he says, I think this happens in society very often. Learned helplessness. Yeah, I think that's true.
I think it's
honestly,
happening with our generation more than any, like, or my generation more than anything.
How come?
it's definitely, I can tell you right now. And again, I'm not knocking anybody on government assistance, but in my opinion, if you were like raised in government assistance, but nobody's ever taught you anything other than government assistance, in your brain, you're helpless. You can't go get a job. You can't go get a car, do this, do that.
So that's the whole argument, and I mean, that's the argument that people shouldn't have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, because sometimes they don't know what the bootstraps are or where the bootstraps are.
it
So
took
it's
it took my mom 30 years to learn that she's not helpless, and that if she puts her mind to it, she can fend for herself. 30 years my mom lived in government housing, and it took my youngest little brother turning 21 for her to be ripped off of all of her government assistance, and she was forced to be like, yo, like, I'm not as helpless as I thought I was, so let me try this whole life thing out. And I wouldn't say she's excelling in life, but if you would have asked me 10 years ago if I saw my mom in the position that she is at now, no. Well, this meeting has been upgraded. What does that mean?
don't worry about it.
I'm
We're
gonna
good.
worry about it.
We've been streaming for longer than 40 minutes. I don't know why we got that message.
Well, I
Del
know
said, go ahead.
I know obviously I'm 18 years old. My opinion doesn't stretch very far in the horizon, but like a lot of things you learn at a young age. It's like training a dog. You learn really, really early. and that kind of trains you into being what you can possibly be when you get older. It's not.
Wait. You're only 18,
Yeah.
bro. Holy
Dude's a
shit.
tall ass motherfucker, dude.
I thought you were I thought you were like our age, because I've been knowing you since the Clash days, which was we haven't really
Quite some
played
time.
Clash in like what 3-4 years.
Yeah, it's been a
I
while.
haven't played
You're
in.
telling me this grown ass man was playing a Clash with a toddler?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Okay, Michael Jackson.
Ooh, boom, roasted on your own point. Oh no.
So intentionally confuse you with a hard question, and they say if you
Carson
work
might
hard, you
too.
can figure it out. Yeah, kind of, sorta. And y'all hurt my head. I mean, I like these discussions because, I mean, these are the philosophical questions that we have to figure out. And I think the bridge between philosophy and politics is psychology. I think that's the only
problem-
factor that's going to help us understand.
See, the problem, like, dude, psychology, if you're not getting a super unbiased, like, all psychology is biased. I'm sorry, I'm trying to plug in my PS4 so there's more light.
Well,
But-
that's why there's cultural psychology. So it depends. My gosh, one of my psychology books is very political, and I hate that right now. So I'm trying to keep an unbiased opinion as I roll through. But
It's impossible.
yeah.
Psychology is
But
straight.
it's making me polarize myself because I'm like, dude, you're telling me one thing, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like you telling me something like that.
Yeah, and
Like,
trying to force you to think a certain way, and that's the one thing I hate about psychology more than anything else. It's training your mind to think certain things.
I focus on the basic studies of psychology, so making sure I understand like the major studies and the major concepts, and not focusing on the minute social points. You know?
Yeah, I guess it's a good point.
Yeah, I don't like doing that because
It's a good mask.
I want to be able to think for myself and think critically.
Please just switch the camera real quick.
I was
This needs to be seen.
I was purposely not saying anything because I was going to
Nice.
surprise everybody. But hello.
I'm sorry.
Welcome back, Deadpool.
Hey,
It's great. It's
Welcome
great.
back.
I cut my eye holes out. I can see now. I was trying to play the game last night with these eye holes actually having the nets in them still, and I could not see.
Yeah. Oh dang, we're kind of exceeding our time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, holy
There's
shit.
no time limit.
Yes, what is time?
What
Is
is
time even
time?
a thing?
I don't
Time's
know.
relative.
Time is an illusion.
Time's relative.
Yeah. No, I like this conversation. We're gonna have to have this like an ongoing conversation because I want to think critically about some of these things that a lot of people aren't really talking about, especially the whole deterministic free will question.
Completely off the subject. What kind of headset is that, Strickland? 'Cause that shit's awesome.
It's like Steel Series, probably one of the. I don't remember if it's one of the basic ones. It's like 150-ish. It's actually a pretty good headset.
Can you change the lighting on it?
No,
Okay.
it just kind of rotates. Yeah, it sucks. But like,
I'll keep my
mutes.
I'll keep my I think these are like $70. They're like, in my opinion, I got my Stealth 600s over there, and those were amazing for the longest time until I got my hands on an actual PC headset, and holy shit. And the battery life is impeccable in this thing.
The only problem is these are wired. I wish I had wireless, but you know.
Wireless and wired, in my opinion, if I could get a good wired headset and figure out how to connect it to this, I would. But I don't know how to do all that because I suck at life.
Yeah, I got a little rotating knob for the volume, and that it sucks. Honestly, I need to get a new headset regardless, but that's a little time from now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming out. I appreciate everybody that stuck by us while we had these philosophical conversations. Strickland, we're gonna have you back on, and we're gonna start this conversation from the very beginning. So
yeah, I missed a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I was doing homework
You want to
midway
either
through.
do this either Monday or Tuesday next week?
Yeah, sure. I work. Okay, thank you. I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So.
Okay.
Yeah, tonight was definitely a weird podcast, but it was a good one.
I should put on my earmuffs
Yeah.
so I don't feel left out. I hate it when that happens. All right, guys. Well, thank you
Dale,
for daydreaming with me.
Dale, I'll just come wrap my body around your head, and that way you don't. I'll be your earmuffs.
Keep
There
you
you go.
warm.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for daydreaming. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button on this side. Hit that subscribe button on that side if you're not already subscribed. So, I love
Hit
you
it
all.
on all sides. Hit every
Thank you.
button.
Every button except
Except for the
that.
thumbs
all-
down button.
yeah,
Don't hit that one.
don't
No,
hit that one and don't hit
it
the
doesn't do
report.
anything, but yeah.
All right, guys. Well, take it easy.